Hello, Airbus Cockpit Coach here. You're joining me back inside the flight deck of the iniBuilds Airbus A350. In this video we're going to run through the cockpit preparation flow. This follows on from my last video where we looked at the cockpit preliminary setup. So let's jump straight in and have a look at that flow. So the flow itself is pretty much the same as all other Airbus aircraft in terms of where we would scan. It starts with the overhead panel. The overhead panel is divided into three sections, and we start from the bottom over on the captain's left hand side. Some of these things we have checked already as part of the prelim setup, but always good practice to run through again. So we're working our way up. We're looking for white lights being on, such as this one, or any sort of amber fault lights, such as these over here. For some of them it's relevant for them to be on and showing either amber faults or being white at this stage of the setup. We want to make sure switches are guarded. The vac is in the captain's position. Crew oxygen supply needs to come on. The cockpit recorder ground control should be on. Guarded switches, no white lights or faults up there. So then we come down to the middle section of the panel. Starting at the bottom, we look at the lights. Strobe should be in auto, beacon should be off, nav should be in nav 1 at the top. The lights are ECAM monitored in nav 1. Logos in auto, wing off, landing light off, and the nose taxi light should be in the off position. Then we move over to the seat belts. Now because we are refueled, these can now come on. No smoking, can come into the middle position auto, no mobile, auto, and emergency exit lights should be armed, and that's the middle position. Again, looking for white lights, make sure switches are guarded, no fault showing, airflow is in norm, and the crossfeed is in auto for the air. In the electrical panel, mentioned earlier, we've got these fault lights showing. That is normal at this stage because the generators aren't producing any electricity because the engines are of course off. Once they come online, we expect these to clear out. Switches are guarded, and we come onto the fuel panel and we have white lights showing, and because we have now refueled we can turn these on. We need to do this in the order of left to right, so we're turning the main pumps on before any standby pumps, otherwise the standby pumps will kick in. They can all come on, so they can all come on, white lights are extinguished, and continuing our view up of the panel all the way up into the maintenance section. Sometimes you can expect some of these lights to be on for various reasons, but as you can see today, nothing there which we need to be aware of or checking out. Then we come to the first officer side of the panel over on the right, checking for switches being guarded, working our way up. We've got the cargo air conditioning control panel here, and you'll see we've got the temperature regulator. If we have no cargo on board which requires to be heated, we can turn this down to the off position, and that will provide a fuel saving. We continue to work up the right side, looking for any white lights, faults, anything out of place. We've got the cockpit voice recorder test switch here, so what we do, we press that in. Unlike the Airbus A320 for example, you won't hear an audible tone. This is monitored by ECAM, so if there is a fault when we press the test switch, it should show on the ECAM and alert us. That's all looking good. So that's the overhead part of the flow completed. Next we conduct a flow around our multifunction display at the bottom here. So we've got air data switches here, make sure they're in auto, EFMS is in norm. Then we come down to our ISIS, our integrated standby information system, and we want to put the QNH in there. So we come over and you see it's 1035, quite high pressure today, so we want to put that in there. And here at London Heathrow, about, obviously we're not at the reference point, that about matches the aerodrome altitudes and way off. making sure switches aren't showing any faults. That's all looking sensible. Landing gear levers down. Auto brake is not armed. Anti-skid is on, and the brake fans are currently off. Once we've finished that part of the flow, we then come down to the pedestal. Like the overhead, this is split into 3 sections, and we start over on the captain side. We set the radio management panel, the RMP here, up in the prelim checks. We're just cross-checking that, make sure that's all still sensible and we haven't knocked any switches, for example. And we come back, guarded switches, spoilers retracted, parking brake on, gravity extension for the gear is all closed up. Coming to the middle front, we've got the engine mode selector in norm, master switches are off. Got our weather radar and TCAS currently using system 1. That's usually alternated between flights. Coming back here, making sure things are where we'd expect them to be, and check out the cockpit door. I currently want that in the normal position. And then we come over to the first officer side of the pedestal, making sure that radio management panel is set up correctly, whilst the frequencies will map across the tuned part of the radio management panel, so what you're listening to will not automatically select, so you need to have a cross check, making sure that the first officers can hear things like cabin announcements and addresses, etc. Flap lever 0 is where we want it to be, and then we check the third radio management panel. So we've got the frequencies displayed on radio management panel 1 and 2, so we could use this, for example, to display our squawk code. It's sensible to have the squawk code showing somewhere. And that concludes the cockpit preparation flow. In the next video I will go into the FMS setup in detail. I hope you found that useful. If you have any questions on that, please drop them in the comments. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.